All right. There we go. 9:02. Appreciate everybody making the time to join our Unifying Projects and Financials webinar with Cloud Coach and JustOn. Really excited about sort of the moment that we're in, the whole reason we're having this webinar, kind of the evolution of both companies, really. Again, we've got folks joining that kind of know both sides of the coin here, and we're excited to announce kind of more detail about um, the acquisition and kind of some of the things that we have planned. And that really is kind of the idea behind today is expand on the announcement that you may have seen on LinkedIn or you may have heard about from whether it's your CSM or somebody during an implementation or something like that. Excited to expand on that and share a little bit more about what we've got going on and what we've got planned. So I will jump in. Today's speakers, we're going to have Frank, CEO of Cloud Coach. Starting off, we'll have Marko, the founder and CEO of JustOn. Kind of intro the JustOn process and kind of where they're coming from if you're not familiar with that tool. And then Rob, our product owner from the Cloud Coach side, is going to talk about the product integration and how we see in the near term the two tools really having kind of a symbiotic relationship and enabling more process, and then kind of allude to some things that we've got planned, some exciting stuff that's coming down. So today's agenda, we'll just kind of block this out. So we'll start with sort of why it matters, give folks on, again, both sides of the group here, why it matters, what are we trying to solve for, and the pain that we've seen around sort of projects being disconnected from financials. Talk about who is Cloud Coach. Again, if you're new to the Cloud Coach product, then we want to talk about sort of this delivery engine that keeps work moving. And then on, again, flip side again, if we want to introduce the JustOn piece, if you're unfamiliar with what they're about. So the financial engine that keeps revenue flowing. And then, as I mentioned, Rob's going to talk about what's ahead. So what is sort of the roadmap? How do we see these products working together? Super excited to get this in front of everybody. So again, I'll wrap up here and pass it on to Frank. But if you noticed on LinkedIn or you saw the announcements on LinkedIn or somebody mentioned to you, Cloud Coach has acquired JustOn. So we are now one group. And so Cloud Coach is really looking to expand how teams are managing their projects, their billing, their cash flow, all of that on top of the Salesforce platform. And JustOn is now bringing in a more powerful invoicing, payments, and financial automation directly into those workflows. So excited to get into all of that. But I will pass it over to Frank.
Great, Gerald. Hey, if you really appreciate the kickoff, and if you want to just jump back to that slide for a second,
Yeah.
I do want to take a moment and just talk about what an exciting moment this is for both of our companies, for our customers, for our partner community. I was looking at the attendee list today, and we've got just such an exciting mix of folks joining us today. We've got attendees from all over the world. We've got long-term Cloud Coach customers. We've got first-time guests who are just coming into Cloud Coach and JustOn. We've got JustOn customers and partners joining from Germany. And then you've got an entire mix of folks from all across US and Europe. So like, I think that's just an exciting, there's obvious interest here. We're excited about this opportunity and what this brings for our partner and customers. And so I thought, and we thought, we were thinking about it, is like, because we have such a mix, let's kick off a bit about who is Cloud Coach, where we're headed in the market, what do we see as the big opportunity for all of us, the customer and partner community as well, to go achieve together, and then what is it, the problems that we really want to go solve, as Terrell just kicked off. And so when we think about what the problems we want to go solve is in our research, and this, sorry, you can jump ahead now, Terrell. In our research, what we saw was there's really a massive problem out there When we think about like the projects that we're all working, whether it be through onboarding, whether it be professional services, whether it be short-term agile projects or long-term big expansive projects, there's a lot of revenue lost through poor project execution. And the numbers on the screens, they scream, like 30% billable hours go unbilled, right? That revenue leakage. 45% of projects miss their budget and timelines. 61% of customers switch after a bad experience. These are in itself, really tough things for us to battle against in a very highly efficient market. But the challenge is how you get to that $60 billion number is that they all compound. The same project or the same process could experience all of them at the same time. And then what that does is it compounds, and that's how you get to that $60 billion number. And so what we really see is if you're not tracking in financials at every project level, then these issues continue to drain revenue as you try to grow your business, but also they slow down momentum. And we talk about it in the sales process all the time. Time kills all deals. We believe time kills all projects as well, and they become harder to predict and harder to manage, and harder to make sure that you don't fall into these buckets of revenue loss if they slow down momentum. So why does the traditional process fail and why does it fall short? Well, you have a few things, right? You've got inefficiency across how things have always been done. And we kind of feel this, right? You either have an ERP heavy system that requires huge deployments and just a lot of heaviness to it that you get slow adoption or low adoption. You have workflows that are kind of like how things need to be done yesterday, but now not keeping up with how things need to be done today or tomorrow. You've got complex tools that overwhelm project managers and administration. You end up managing the tool and not managing the project or the customer. And then all that bubbles up to rear view mirror, and we call it like rear view mirror reporting. That is basically like by the time you see it, the damage is already done, right? You're looking at last month or last quarter, or the project's over, and you review the project and you run into trouble. All of this leads to team burnout, right? And we see this through our people. Our teams are being asked to do more with less. We are an efficient market. We are trying to be as efficient as we are as possible. But that efficiency, we do a ton of work. But then what happens is if we're not capturing all those billable hours, if projects aren't tied to financials, then the project is not successful in the end. And so our solution is the Cloud Coach delivery engine, right? And so it's this idea of a unified project life cycle experience where we give you end-to-end delivery engine that helps you plan the project smarter, execute faster, and deliver without friction across all of your projects. We always say like, the great quote is like, no project goes according to plan, but no project was ever successful without one. Well, that goes into here. Like we know that you're going to come in and plan and plan smarter, execute faster, but things change. So how do we help you optimize? How you help you change? How do we help you update and move and shift while keeping that unification with your resources and tasks? And so we allow you to streamline, really focuses streamline project delivery, optimize your resources with task management and team collaboration. You're going to be able to improve your time and productivity as you capture all those billable hours and forecasting performance. And then at the end, we talk about is like, how do you gain visibility and traceability throughout the project lifecycle and not just at the end when it's too late to make changes and adjustments. And who do we do this for, right? So the Cloud Coach use cases, we really focus on four, right? We're going to focus on helping customers with professional services automation. This is where this at least at the immediate, the JustOn integration with financials really plays a big impact. But that doesn't necessarily mean that you don't need it across the other three. Customer onboarding, right? Being able to see how financials can impact how we onboard tech solutions or projects or new hires. Customer success, right? End-to-end post-sales lifecycle management. There's so many disconnected tools out there. Our goal is to bring that all together for you. And then just straight up project management, which is really where Cloud Coach has had its foundation with either Kanban, Waterfall, Scrum, all of it. And so once you have this connected delivery, this is what Terrell referred to is that you can keep the work moving. We believe that momentum matters. And so the key aspects of that is you've got all your connected data. We live inside Salesforce. JustOn lives inside Salesforce. So your team is working where the work happens. So you don't have these integrations with silos or off, spreadsheets offline that people have to manage and it's disconnected. And that's how revenue leaks, right? You're going to get that real-time visibility. So you can make changes on the fly, you can adjust, and you can configure as you're moving through projects. You've got the full project lifecycle. We talked about this, and not just a project lifecycle, but we really believe once that sale is done, it's the post-sales lifecycle. And then on top of that, you're in a unified secure platform because we're inside Salesforce. So you have that single source of truth, and you know that it's safe and secure. Overall, the end result is we want to give you the ability to get smarter in your operations. Efficiency is the name of the game today. We can't, again, we're all being asked to do more with less. So how do we drive efficiency, make sure we're hitting those deadlines, increase profitability, and so you get all of that with insight so you can keep the momentum moving forward. So with that said, I'm gonna turn it over. I mean, that was just a little bit of like where we're going, what we're thinking about Cloud Coach, and how we see this all coming together for our partners and customers. And I'm going to turn it over to Marko Fliege, who's the founder of JustOn, and he's going to take it from here, give you a little bit of flavor about what JustOn is, where they've come from, and what their product does for customers.
Thank you, Frank. Yeah, I'm really happy about the partnership between JustOn and Cloud Coach. And it seems that I got a little bit of gray hair during the last weeks. Uh, no, yeah, I founded JustOn over 10 years ago, and we served hundreds of clients in our projects. And I can't imagine how we did that without a great PSA tool like you provide with Cloud Coach. And by now, we have over or around 250 organizations that use our tools, on the Salesforce platform from various industries, actually. Real estate, media, software, and finance, and also some NGOs use us in order to automate their financial processes. Yeah, and what I want to talk about now is just to give you an impression about how JustOn will be the financial engine of Cloud Coach. And with that, I jump over to the billing engine. That is one of our products that we have on AppExchange, billing and invoice management. And let me mention also that the products and the solutions of JustOn, they will also exist standalone. That's also important for our German and European customers. They will further exist standalone, as billing and invoice management is a standalone solution on AppExchange, and also cash management is a standalone package on AppExchange and can be used with other packages. And that's what we use actually for the integration with Cloud Coach. Our products are native on Salesforce, on the Salesforce platform. And Cloud Coach is native on the Salesforce platform, and that makes it 100% integrated into the Salesforce platform. It provides us, and it provides for our customers, unlimited customization capabilities and extensibility. And what we also get from the platform is reporting capabilities. And we just extended it in order to provide financial reporting, for example, on MRR, on the open invoices, aging reports, and all those things that you get with and billing and invoice management engine. We provide, no, just one back. We provide different billing scenarios with our engine. And when you think about a PSA tool, then of course, milestone billing is important, billing of worksheets and fixed price scenarios are important. But if you think about an billing solution that provides or that is tailored to other scenarios, then we also provide subscription billing, one-time orders that need to be billed, and even commissions that can be invoiced with our solution. It's all automatic, our invoice management. For those who used to click their invoices with 10 clicks, so we can provide it out of the box, fully automatic, from Salesforce orders, Salesforce opportunities, from projects in Salesforce. We can provide automatic invoices with an invoice run that runs on a regular basis and provides invoices, e-invoices in the geographies where it is necessary. So Europe, South America, they need e-invoices that get generated. And of course, they need to be tax compliant. And that's what we provide out of the box. In geographies like North America, we provide it through an integration, a pre-configured integration with Avalara. In Europe, where it's much easier with VAT, we provide it native in our solution. And then we can also handle different invoice types like installments, credit notes, prepaid scenarios. Prepayment scenarios are possible to configure and are used widely within our customer base. And then, of course, when you have all these invoices sent to your clients, you want to also send it to your accounting system. And we provide accounts receivable capabilities. We integrated payment providers for credit card payment and ACH. We also integrated bank accounts. I will talk about it in a second. But with that payment information, we can also send out payment reminders. And then, of course, when it comes to the accounting system, we need to recognize revenue. And with revenue recognition rules, we can provide the numbers and financial data to your accounting system as you need it, out of the box with configuration in your Salesforce system, so that you have it all in one place in Salesforce, and you give it to your tax advisor or to your accountant that does the rest in your financial system. Next one. And to give you an impression about how it looks like, that's the invoice record and the PDF, and that's normally generated automatically. Unfortunately, we don't have the time to demonstrate it today, but I encourage you to book a demo with us, an individual demonstration about the product with us, with Cloud Coach, so that we can demonstrate the full capabilities of our product. And I talked about it earlier, and I want to introduce you to our cash management and liquidity tool solution that we have also on AppExchange, called JustOn Cash Management. And that provides integration into payment service providers that provide credit card payments, online payment scenarios, and of course, and also ACH payment. And that information is then integrated in our solution for automated assignment of payments, the reconciliation, and that helps us to further automate the financial processes and to provide scenarios where you send out payment reminders based on the payment information, and to provide also other more sophisticated financial analysis like invoice aging, payment receipts, financial KPIs like MRR, cash flow, revenue that got recognized, and so on. So, and here in the background, you see some dashboards, nice dashboards that you have out of the box that really adds financial visibility to the PSA tool and to you in Salesforce, where you need it actually, and on the data that is provided or generated by the JustOn tools. And one more thing, and I want to show you and give you an impression and even make you more appetite to book a demo with us. It's the payment page. And Terrell, you can switch one more time. It's the payment page. So when an invoice is sent out from Salesforce with JustOn, we can also provide a payment page that is got immediately paid with JustOn, with the integrated payment providers, and that you see it immediately that a booking, that an invoice is paid with a certain payment provider, and you got the funds on your bank account. And with that, I'm really happy to answer your questions later on and to be available in individual demos. I already mentioned it, I think.
That's awesome. Cool. Well, so now that we've set a little bit of context, and as I think it's understated, a little bit of context. Both of these tools have a lot going on, a lot that's possible within them, a lot of ways to enable different processes and organizations. So want to pass it over to Rob, our product owner here at Cloud Coach, to talk a little bit about kind of our first steps, kind of our first foray into allowing the two tools to work together. So Rob, I'll pass it over to you.
Sure. Thank you, Cheryl. Yeah. Hi, everybody. My name is Rob Hegel. I'm the product owner here at Cloud Coach. So big part of my job is working with our customers to help drive our roadmap. And so I'm excited to be able to discuss how JustOn is going to be integrating with that roadmap. Just to kind of set the stage a little bit, we at Cloud Coach have had a very basic invoicing object available for some time, required a decent amount of customization, implementation costs, all of that in order to integrate that with different systems. And what's exciting about JustOn is that really, as opposed to continuing those kind of implementation costs and very customized solutions for different customers, and also having to, the possibility of building out our own suite of invoicing and financial tools, we're able to now leverage the decade plus of research, work, development that JustOn has done into this, and it's going to integrate into Cloud Coach quickly, and you're going to be able to see a lot of that functionality that Marko just discussed within Cloud Coach. And so these are, as Terrell mentioned, just some of the first integrations that you'll see of JustOn within the Cloud Coach experience that we're looking at for our an upcoming release soon. It's in active development. We're excited to be bringing this to you. So really the billing and subscription platform, the management of invoices, all of that coming directly into the Cloud Coach UI within our financials tab, being able to generate invoices, see the line items of those invoices, preview them, send them off, keep track of the status of all of those directly within the project that you're working on within Cloud Coach will be one of the first things that you'll be able to see there. And then being able to integrate with all of the records and actions available within the Cloud Coach project management experience. and I'll talk about that a little bit more in a moment. But we'll be able to, you know, use these billing events based on the Cloud Coach experience. And then we also have the flexibility that Marko discussed and that is available with JustOn, which is the different invoicing models, the one-time, recurring, usage-based invoices, being able to customize those without having to, do some deep implementation of customization. There's an out-of-the-box element of customization available there that will be great to have within our tool. And then also being able to take that financial data and then sync it with other financial tools, and being able to do that as well within the Cloud Coach UI, within the Cloud Coach experience. So we'll be able to really take a lot of the points that Marko just mentioned there, like I said, have been under development for a long, long time with JustOn, and they have customers that rely and love their functionality. And so being able to take the best of those things, bring them into Cloud Coach, and how we see them benefiting our customers in immediate timeframes is really exciting for us. If you want to go to the next one here, this is just going to be a couple of examples around some of the more specific ways that JustOn might integrate with Cloud Coach. So mentioned the customization there. So we have the different billing rules that we can configure within the Cloud Coach financials now. So being able to look at things like the statement of work or a record type of the project, different account fields, all these kind of out of the box Salesforce tools that we're able to leverage within Cloud Coach, we can now leverage within directing and customizing the financials that will come from JustOn. So you can set different, contract types or time frames, all of those types of things based on a whole host of different fields and custom pieces within your projects or accounts that already are within, if you're a Cloud Coach customer, already within your process of that. And then we have the event-driven financials. So this is a great place that I see our product with Cloud Coach integrating very well with JustOn, and that's that we have a lot of areas of the project life cycle where we can start to integrate some automation into triggering these different invoicing events, the billing events, all of those types of things. So within our basic project management, we have phases, we have tasks. So you can, on a phase completion, you can trigger an invoice or a task. We say key tasks here, so we have milestone tasks as well, where you can set that to trigger something. Then we have our financial objects that have existed in Cloud Coach that will integrate well with what JustOn is doing here. And that would be things like retainers, being able to track those, things like rate cards, and the costs associated with work records, time entry, all of those types of things, to be able to classify those as invoice line items that then get triggered by the completion of things like stage gates, which we have in our tool, requirements. And that's just some of the records and objects that we have available that would work for these event-driven financials. And we're also looking at more time-based events, so the month-end process here, or it could be quarterly, for example, things like that. So really, between how the project is set up, you have a number of different ways and easy integration points with the JustOn events that will be very easily customized to your solution without requiring some deep development or custom implementation. And that allows us as Cloud Coach, as your CSMs, our support team, to be able to support all of these different methods without having to read some statement of work from a solutions expert from the implementation of Cloud Coach or your Salesforce environment. We'll know how these things can fit in to your overall process and be able to support you in getting those set up or whatever you need from our team there. And so, the result of that, the billing happens naturally as the project unfolds. So there isn't a need for direct, work to be done to trigger these things. We can have that set up on things like project templates or different things like that, so that you don't have to be doing these manual updates, manually tracking these things. That's how things get missed. That's how we lead to the financial implications that Frank mentioned early on in this webinar. So that's why we're super excited about having JustOn be a major enhancement of the Cloud Coach financial package, and we see those integrations happening naturally. You'll be able to see those within Cloud Coach in an upcoming release, and yeah, we're just excited to have them on board. And if you have any questions about that, you can of course reach out to our support team, support@cloudcoach.com. You can talk to your CSM. You can set up a demo with Marko or our team as well, and we'll be happy to walk you through what we can do for you in terms of financials within your projects.
Just riffing on that too, just enabled the chat within Zoom. We're going to have a moment here at the end for some Q&A. So if you've got questions that are sort of percolating that you don't want to forget, feel free to drop those in the chat here as we sort of wrap up. The point that I just wanted to wrap up, and I'll pass it back to Frank here to kind of summarize a little bit. But the idea of this webinar, and even more broad than that, the idea of these two processes, these two products sort of coming together, it really enables a sort of choose your own adventure. Here's this toolkit that can enable, like Marko said, a lot of these, Salesforce native billing or cash management workflows. Cloud Coach brings in the project and resource management, and now we're able to tie those together. That's not necessarily the fit for everybody. There may be folks that need pieces of that, or depending on how your process is, maybe you're not doing the cash management piece out of Salesforce. You have a dedicated ERP for that. Well, maybe it makes sense though to have more granular data generated against the project or against whatever you are billing from. A lot of sales cycles start on Salesforce. See what I did there? But the idea is that now in between the sales and the billing or the invoicing or the revenue recognition, now we've got options on how can we enable your team? How can we enable that process to be automated if you want it automated? Do you want an automation to generate the invoice, but you want a manual approval? You don't want to completely sacrifice control of that process to the system. Well, how can the system help take some of the effort out of that quote unquote manual process now, whether it's resource assignments or now invoice generation and billing straight to the cash management piece? It just enables a lot of those tools to now have a lot of symmetry and gain some effectiveness there. So I'll pass it back over to Frank here to kind of start to wrap us up.
Thanks, Terrell. Yeah, and it's really exciting. I keep using that word because it's just all we think about. We think about the opportunities and the possibilities. But through that, we do want to say, like, what does this mean for you, right? Our customers and partners who have supported us, who've supported both products. So there's a few things. As we're continuing to build this fully integrated Cloud Coach and JustOn suite that we're really excited about, both products will still be developed, supported, and sold independently. And on top of that, we're gonna continue to build functionality within them. We're gonna continue to grow in different markets. So we see it as a three-tiered approach. We are going to unify under the PSA US market with that integration. So we're going to say, look, we sell Cloud Coach in the US market all the time. We're going to give our customers the ability with this integration that Rob just described. We're going to be able to add on to our existing customers or to new customers coming on board with Cloud Coach, the JustOn functionality. So integrated financials. We're also going to continue to sell Cloud Coach as is, right? You may not need that. You may need a little bit of it. But another opportunity is we're going to continue to sell JustOn in all markets, including an expansion in the US market. So we're going to be able to sell JustOn as a standalone. Maybe you don't necessarily need project management or our professional services automation today. You can buy JustOn as a standalone. And then we're going to be able to sell with our team in Germany. We're very excited about the folks that we've brought into our Cloud Coach group. We are going to be able to sell Cloud Coach in Europe more easily and effectively. We're going to be able to support those customers easily and effectively, but then we're also going to continue to sell JustOn in that market as well. So it really does create an opportunity for yeah, nothing's going away with what you're doing now. If you're a JustOn customer or partner, you can continue to do as is. If you're a Cloud Coach customer partner, you can continue to do as is. This is only additive, right? We can expand in markets for our customers. We can expand with our partners. So this is one of the reasons why we're, in everything that was described today, we're really excited about these two products coming together. So the outcome, we talk about it. We talk about the problem, this big $60 billion burger out there that we're all trying to solve for: revenue leakage, time delays, projects not hitting, completing on time. What we came up with when we thought about this is this mantra that the work shouldn't wait. If we can keep momentum in projects, and I think Rob outlined it really well. Like, you have the projects that's moving along. If it's moving along at a clip and it's got momentum, and then we can add in the financial aspect to that. So as the projects move along, you now have billing happening automatically. Projects move faster. And when everything stays connected, our teams, your teams, they stop chasing the updates. They stop breaking the flow and going to find, okay, where's this invoice? We can't move with this change order. Okay, what's going on? Where's this project at? And then they can start focus on driving the outcome. Can we keep this project moving? The more it moves, the better, the better predictable it is. And then in a unified execution environment, we believe momentum matters. And so that's why we're really focused on this work shouldn't wait mantra. We're going to help our customers move from disconnected delivery and billing to one connected platform. We're going to move from manual invoicing, offline spreadsheets, offline tracking of financials on a project, to event-driven automated financials. We're going to move from those blind spots of like, what happened, when did it happen, and why am I just finding out now, to visibility and traceability across all project resources and managing your costs. And then really at the end of the day, you move from delays and slowdowns and stalls and leakage to predictable, scalable revenue. And that's really our goal. That's why we've done this. That's why we're bringing these products together. We believe there's a huge opportunity out there to go really take a bite out of that $60 billion problem, and work with you all to achieve that. So if you're interested in this, the folks on the call have said, go to our website, book a demo. It doesn't matter which website you go to, JustOn or Cloud Coach. Get in there, book a demo. We're happy to show you one-to-one. If you're a customer of either product, reach out to your CSM. We're happy to schedule some time and just talk through it more one-on-one. If you're a partner, same thing. Reach out to your teams, and we'll schedule some one-on-one time. And then also, we really, as Rob said, we're moving really fast on this. That's one of the other exciting things. This is not 12 months out. This is not 24 months out. This is 3 months out. We believe we will have a really working opportunity and integration in just a couple months and ready in Q4. So what we want to do is, anybody that's interested in our early adopter program, after this webinar, you're going to get an email with a summary. There's going to be a link in there to sign up for our early adopter program. Click that link, get on board, and you could be on either product. We really want to hear from you. We want to hear what you're excited about, what aspect of the integration excites you most, what aspect of what we're trying to solve for excites you most, and then we will go from there.
Awesome.
Cool.
Appreciate it, Frank. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Marko and Rob, for presenting. Give a second, see if there's any more questions. So again, feel free to use the chat inside of Zoom if you do have a live question. A couple questions I think we've gotten throughout here, and I think this one I'll start with, I think was early on, but the idea of what will existing customers need to make any changes to their current setup? I think this was early on in the presentation. Hopefully we've answered that. So we've really tried, and as we go forward, we are focusing on maintaining both the independent solutions and the joint solution as well. Is it simple? No, but that's why we're here, all right? But the idea is that if you are using JustOn, or if you're using Cloud Coach, there's not oh, now JustOn got installed and now I've got all these other processes that I have to like mute or turn off. That's not how that's going to go. Because of how the AppExchange products work, because of how the packages work, we have to be intentional with actually installing that functionality and then installing the connectors between them. So there's nothing that's going to affect your existing workflow. There's also, and again, we've hopefully answered this throughout, but just to like really draw attention around, there's also nothing that's going to affect your current support model, the current way that you get help for your existing product, your existing solution, whether that's on the JustOn side or the Cloud Coach side. All the existing support channels, folks, are like, all of that is static. So it really gives, we've got a unique opportunity for all of this to be additive between the two teams. And I see another question around kind of, hey, maintaining, how are you planning on maintaining, product focus now with the two products and them coming together? I mean, that's going to be one of Marko's responsibilities. So nobody should be jealous of that. But we've got sort of the roadmaps on both sides that are already plotted out. Those don't go anywhere. But now we start to see, where do we have bandwidth and space to start to build kind of this joint solution, even as we are taking both of those independent product roadmaps forward. So really good opportunities for us there. And again, we feel like this is a great opportunity for customers that can use it, use the holistic solution, and really start to streamline that overall process. Not everybody. We hear a lot of people that have tech stack fatigue. Oh my gosh, there's another platform or another, platform that I have to learn, or another product that I have to install, and another login, username, and password that I have to reset every other week, etc. This, again, is part of our try on the PSA, on the services delivery, on the invoice and billing side, on the payment side. Can we streamline that for folks and streamline it around Salesforce? I'll use this for the last question I see here. This idea of being Salesforce native or being installed on top of Salesforce. Hey, I've never heard of the AppExchange. The idea is that both of these products are installed right within your Salesforce instance. It's not an integration. That gives us two pieces. All of the data is within Salesforce. So that goes back to that single source of truth concept. It's one platform. You have one login that you use to get to, whether you're on the pre-sales side, the post-sales side, the billing side. All of that is now happening inside of one platform. And it's happening, I made the little aside around Salesforce and sales processes and all of that. All of that is happening where that process starts. So as you are working opportunities, as those opportunities are closing, now the downstream process from that is now enabled all within that same platform as well. So I don't see any other new questions. Again, as we've said throughout.
Yep. Just want to jump in there and double click, because I think it's a great question on how things continue moving forward.
Yeah.
One of the things that you see sometimes with these acquisitions is that there's changes in support, there's changes in, maybe there's asks to migrate. There's no forced migration here. Any new capabilities are going to be opt-in. If you're a Cloud Coach customer and you are, excited about this, you get simpler, more complete solution that unifies project delivery and financials all within Salesforce. Our integrations are going to be coming fast and quick, because all of our teams are used to developing this together. So the early focus is on that project to invoice and unified reporting, and there's going to be more on the way as we continue to build. If you're a JustOn customer, everything you rely on with JustOn continues. It's the same product, the same team, the same support you trust. One of the things that we were most excited about this partnership with JustOn is both of our products, both of our teams are very support and service driven, right? You can see that in our G2 scores. You can see that in our AppExchange scores, and you can see that in our CSAT. Like we love our customers. We love working with you, and our support is responsive. We want that to continue. The German leadership for JustOn, we're also excited about this, remains in place, and they're going to continue, as Terrell said, to help build our path forward. So all of this really talks about this additive approach, and we can maintain that support in existing products and contracts and SLAs while we expand capabilities, which is something also we're excited about.
Awesome. Well, we said it at the top, but thanks everybody who stayed on with us for making the time to hear a little bit more about where we're going with sort of both products on this joint, call it a journey we're on. Looking forward to hearing from you. Again, do reach out across any of your existing support channels, CSM channels, or our websites. Happy to chat more, and looking forward to getting this in front of more folks, getting feedback, and just evolving as we go forward. But thanks very much. Have a great rest of your day and a great rest of your week. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.